We had 10 people who were arrested and they gave each of us $300,000 bail. I'm not gonna leave everybody in jail, so that was $3 million worth of bail that we needed to cover. Yo, what up, It's your boy Wiz Khalifa, man, and right now you watching First with RapTV. First time stepping into the ring, I threw up everywhere. Just off of like the first maybe 1 or 2 rounds, I was definitely ready to barf. Now I'm not even getting warmed up till about round 8. First unusual thing I ever smoked from will have to be an apple. I learned this apple trick way back in the day, performing at a lot of colleges and being around some crafty kids. We made some really, really cool apple bongs, and it benefited me well. First time running out of room for a tattoo. I haven't inked my whole body yet, so we're still on the quest. First job I ever had was being a rapper. I never had a regular job, never clocked in for work a day in my life. First thing my travels have taught me is that the world is flat. Nope, I'm not going into it. First person to call me Wiz was my father. My original rap name was Wisdom Khalifa, but my dad would just call me Wiz, and that's where the Wiz Khalifa came from. First memory from high school was walking into Taylor Allderdice, a big, huge school. It had 4 floors. And I was like, wow, man, how am I gonna do this? I was all by myself. I lived in Pittsburgh 2 years before, so I was there in middle school, but nobody remembered me because I was 6'1" now, so I had to reintroduce myself. First reason it was time to drop Kush and OJ2 was because the fans wanted it. If you guys want it, I got you. First time smoking Khalifa Kush, Burner brought it down from the Bay Area himself. We were sampling all different types of bud, and this was one that he wasn't sure if I was gonna like or not. And I said, hey man, let's just try it. And he gave me the bud, and I fell in love with it, and I've been smoking it ever since. This was 12 years ago, and the pack has never changed. First time collabing with Gunna. You guys hear the first collab with me and Gunna. It's called 5 Star. We recorded it at a studio in North Hollywood. Think they called me at like 12:30, maybe 1 in the morning, and said, Gunna wants to see you in the studio, bro. And I happened to be right up the street. So I hopped in my Rolls Royce, went over there, took him a jar of weed like this big. He played me some songs from his album. I played him the song that I wanted him on. And you guys hear the magic, and that's what 5 Star is. First collab with J. Cole. We might have some mashups that the YouTubers really know about and care about, but I think the first official collab just recently happened. It's a song called Clouds with me and him. The Clouds remix came about because J. Cole wanted to sample my laugh, and I said, hey, instead of just sampling a laugh, let me do a verse on there. First time meeting Mac Miller was at ID Labs, probably about 2009. I'm pretty sure he was still in high school, and I was out of high school for sure, because when I graduated, he was a freshman. Yeah, it was in the studio. I was coming home off of tour, and he was basically in there doing the same thing that I was doing at his age, just working and soaking up game and putting his homies on. First crazy story from tour will probably have to be when we got arrested in North Carolina. The way that we got out was legendary. We had 10 people who were arrested, and they gave each of us $300,000 bail. I'm not gonna leave everybody in jail, so that was $3 million worth of bail that we needed to cover. We ended up having a lot of money under the bus in cash from merch and hard ticket sales, and was able to bail me and Will out. The lawyer knocked the charges down. We were able to bail everybody else out with some more of the money that we had, and we were back on the road the next day. First thing most people don't know about Pittsburgh is how much fun it is to hang out and party and enjoy a good night out in the burg. If you ever hang out in Pittsburgh, you'll have a really, really amazing time just chilling. It's nothing too glamorous. It's a very classy city, but it's very hometown vibes, and you'll feel like a family member at the end of the day. First time working with Chief Keef was on a song called I Hate Being Sober. It was at a time where I was on my run with the internet and crossing over and doing albums like Rolling Papers, and he was working on his first album. Me and 50 shot the video without him, which is crazy, but it was always good to be a part of Sosa's come up. First thing Fatherhood taught me, the importance of time. How you use your time is really important. Being a father helps me to enjoy all of the moments that I have, especially with my family. Even when I'm working and I'm away from my family, it helps me value it and respect it more and want to be there when I do have the opportunity. So I learned how important time is by being a father. First time working with the Weeknd was on a song that was on my album O&IFC. It's called Remember You, and he actually sent me the record because it was something that he really was inspired to do. And this was early stages in his career, and this was my second album, but I had been really familiar with him already. So it was cool to be able to work with him and then tap into that original Weeknd sound that everybody loves. First time working with Kendrick, I was working with Terrace Martin at the time. Actually, I was transitioning out of my supposed to be album deal with Warner, and Terrace put a song together with me and Kendrick when his name was still K-Dot, and then we went on to go on tour together and just really break down doors and open up things for our generation. First time linking with Ty Dolla $ign, we got super stoned, we hung out in the studio, we made music, we rode up to Humboldt County, we shot the video for Irie. We've been best friends ever since. First piece of advice I give, believe in yourself. There's nothing wrong with having confidence. There's nothing wrong with being delusional. There's nothing wrong with seeing things that people don't see. Have the consistency to make something that's real to you, real life. So believe in yourself, stay consistent, and it'll happen. Yo, what up? It's Wiz right here, and that was the first with RapTV.